Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you're staying safe and dry during this weather, if you're in Dallas, of course. And thank you so much for coming to our event about experience talks and earning experience during volunteering. My name is Alyssa Ungerman. I am with the University Career Center, and I'm an experiential programs assistant. And I'm going to go ahead and let Anne introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her office.
Thank you. Hi, my name's Ann Hart. I'm the program coordinator in our Office of Student Volunteerism. Thank you so much, by the way, Alyssa, for making all this happen today. But let's jump in. We got a lot to cover here. So just a little bit about OSV. Our mission is to enrich your lives, basically, by educating you all about the needs of your community and then helping to connect you to them as well, whether that's our UTD campus community, our national community, or the world. We touch on them all. Next slide, please. Might be wondering why to volunteer. Of course, there are lots of great benefits to volunteering. The one we'll really be focusing on today is diving into developing your professional skill set and how that's going to play a role for you later on. But a couple other reasons why volunteering can be really beneficial. One, it really helps to build the community. It helps address community needs as well, which is always important. You're able to connect to a greater sense of purpose as well, getting outside of your bubble and your me all the time thinking as we're got our noses stuck in our books and just studying. It helps you to connect to the community around you as well. It's really good for your mental and physical health. Again, taking your brain off of all of the challenges that may be facing you for a little bit and think about others as well. And of course, getting out there and actively volunteering can be good physically as well. And then it really helps to reduce stress, which is always, something we're looking to do these days, right? So volunteering helps with that as well. But let's dive in a bit more to our professional skills that we get from volunteering. I'm sure that from the Career Center, you've heard some of these terms before, your soft skills and your hard skills and all of that fun stuff. So let's just put a little bit of application on those. Your soft skills, those really have to do with working with people, how it is that you communicate with them, understanding social and emotional intelligence, all of those sort of awesome things. They might not necessarily be something that you can take a training on that teaches you how to do this and that. And these are really highly sought after by employers as well. Your hard skills, those are things that can be learned. And you might be able to do a training on those, and they tend to focus on specific job tasks as well. So maybe I need to know how to write this specific code to be able to accomplish this task. That is a nice little example of a hard skill. But thinking of how these can apply to volunteering, we've got a little example. So Mia, wonderful volunteer. She volunteers at a local women's shelter that might serve women and children who are looking to escape from domestic violence situations. So some ways that she might use her soft skills in this sort of volunteering opportunity. She uses those soft skills to understand the people that she's serving, understanding their needs, understanding emotional cues that they might be giving to her, and thinking about how she can provide clear communication to them to provide help for whatever situation they're encountering. On more of our hard skills place, she also helps staff to potentially collect data on numbers, let's say how many people the shelter is serving, and assisting with pulling together reports that might be able to be sent to the board that oversees the shelter. These are just a couple of ways that a volunteer can actively be engaging and working on their soft skills and hard skills, but no matter what you're doing volunteering, I guarantee you're touching on both of these. Next slide, please. Thank you. Professional skills from volunteering. You are going to be gaining quite a few things no matter what it is that you're doing. This can be time management skills. Oftentimes volunteers, might be juggling a lot of different tasks and things like that, or even juggling their volunteering experience with also being in school, things like that. Going to work on your communication skills, of course, whether you're communicating with other volunteers or the staff there or the people that you're serving. Working on your professionalism, of course, your teamwork. This is a great one, ability to work with people who are different than you. So when you're volunteering, it's pretty common that you might be diving into a population or a community that you're not familiar with. So it's a great opportunity to be able to develop that skill. Customer service, public relations, organization, flexibility, volunteers, goodness gracious, all sorts of things can happen sometimes when we're volunteering. Maybe this dog at the animal shelter suddenly ran out and you gotta go get the dog while you're also trying to walk this other dog. Being flexible for situations, great skill. And problem solving, of course, too. So lots of things come from volunteering. It's not simply just a matter of showing up and, doing a couple things here and there. You are actively developing your professional skills when volunteering. Next slide. Volunteer versus intern. So this is something when people are trying to decide what they might want to do with their time. How do I pick one over the other? Do I pick one over the other? Can I do both? So that first one there, do I have to pick one or the other? Ultimately depends on your time commitments. Volunteering has broad, ranges of time commitments. So maybe you're committing an hour to the animal shelter over here, or maybe you're looking for something that is a longer term commitment. Maybe you're looking for something that is an entire summer or a year or two. It's quite flexible for what you're looking for. So people can, often balance volunteering opportunities beside internships as well. But even let's say you're choosing just to volunteer for a summer, you're still getting quite a few opportunities from that volunteering role. So will you learn more and get more opportunities from an internship than a volunteering role? Not necessarily. It really depends on what your internship is versus what your volunteering role is. Of course, you're going to be getting quite a lot of valuable experience out of both of those. But don't discount the volunteering opportunities out there. Again, if you think about it, a lot of nonprofits out there, they don't necessarily have the money to pay for full-time staff. So often the roles that full-time staff would be doing, those get taken up by awesome volunteers. So that is legitimate professional experience there for you. What impact? Well, yeah, that's right. Does it look better? Does an internship look better on a resume than a volunteering experience? Another great question. People are always asking if volunteering is something they can put on a resume, and the answer is yes, of course. As I said, lots of things that you're doing translate over into your professional world, your professional skill set, how you can be appearing valuable to an employer. So again, the answer is not necessarily. It just depends on what it is that you're doing in your internship versus your volunteering experience. When you're working on your resumes, trying to tailor your resume to the job and really understanding what is going to be most valuable to this employer that I am looking to apply to be with. Is my volunteering experience going to actively help out with that? And is my internship? So it really depends on what you're thinking to do. Next slide. Volunteering on and off campus. So of course there are a gazillion ways to volunteer out there. Just looking on campus, you can explore a range of impact areas. And when I say impact areas, what I mean are basically different topics that you're addressing. So maybe you're addressing sustainability, maybe you're addressing hunger, lots of different impact areas out there. This gives you an opportunity to really learn more about yourself and what you like, and also learn more about the UTD community as well if you're doing an on-campus sort of role. Lots of different examples of how you can get involved on campus. OSV, we help oversee the UTD community garden, so we have little volunteering opportunities in the garden from time to time called Garden Upkeep. iFriend is an opportunity as well through intercultural programs, which is a great way to get outside your own bubble and also just to connect more. Capes for Kiddos is another one that OSV does. If you love crafting, this is a really easy one-time volunteer experience to come and join us. We make capes for kiddos who are in the Texas Scottish Rite Hospital, and they really help to empower them as they're dealing with whatever they are. But the list goes on, so a wide range of on-campus opportunities. These tend to be more of those one-time opportunities. I'm going to explore a little bit about what interests me, etc. But when we look off campus, this is both our one-time opportunities and extended timeline opportunities. So again, really think about what it is that you're looking for. Of course, out there in the big world, there are hundreds of opportunities and they'll cover a range of impact areas. So I always like to suggest to people, if there's something you're really, really passionate about, there is always something out there for you. And that's going to be a great opportunity for you to, hit your passion meter, do all the things you love doing while also developing your professional skills. It's also going to help you learn more about your local community and really help you to develop connections and do some networking as well, which is invaluable. I can't tell you how valuable that can be as you are looking towards your future career goals, future internships, whatever that may be. Some examples of off-campus opportunities, Feed My Starving Children, meal packing, that's a more one-time sort of thing, really fun activity where you get to pack meals for those experiencing hunger. OSV does our alternative spring break program where you get to serve for a whole week with us. And we'll travel all around the country, so really getting outside of the UTD and DFW community and serving in an immersive experience. You might choose to, let's say, volunteer in a senior living facility, or maybe you want to volunteer in a local food pantry. Truly, the options are endless. Next slide. Diving a little bit more into OSV, we offer a lot of different opportunities throughout the year in various impact areas, and we've got lots of virtual opportunities going on right now for you all, so you can still safely connect and volunteer. We have specific events for awareness weeks. We're actually in the middle, well, I guess at the end of our National Volunteer Week right now. And next week we're doing Earth Week, which will have a variety of opportunities that focus on sustainability, our climate, our planet, all of those really important topics right now. And then annual events, we've got, as I mentioned, our ASB program, and then Viva Volunteer, which occurs in October, which is a really special one-day opportunity where students and staff and faculty all get to come together and serve, all about the DFW community. And then we've got additional ongoing opportunities as well. Maybe you want to donate to a donation drive, get involved in our community garden, more opportunities there for you. And we'll be sending the link out to you all so that you can check out our OSV website and find all these opportunities there too. Next slide. As I mentioned, finding those volunteer opportunities, our website is a great place to start for OSV specific opportunities, but also if you're looking to still be safe at home right now, we've made a virtual volunteering tab for you, which has a lot of resources for you to be able to get started from the safety of your own home with volunteering as well. So feel free to check that out and explore those options there. You'd be surprised how many virtual things that you can still do right now. Next slide. And then another resource we wanted to share with you all, which is brand new, super exciting, is called Engage UTD. And what this is basically a platform for our community partners, our wonderful volunteers such as you all, basically to be able to connect with each other and post opportunities, but also for you all to be able to find those volunteering opportunities. So this is a great resource as well for you all now to be able to find volunteering opportunities out and about in the greater community there, of course, and to be able to also record any hours that you're serving as well. If you're curious how to get started, pretty straightforward. Again, we just had a tab added to our OSV page where you'll be able to find more information on Engage UTD, but you'll log in as you do with many things at UTD, just with your NetID and password. You don't have to create an account or anything. It's already there for you. And you can get started roaming around the platform and looking for opportunities. Next slide.
Okay, great. And thank you so much for all of that amazing information. You all are doing so much and putting out so much good into the local and the national community. So definitely encourage everybody who's watching to look into the OSV and those opportunities to get some volunteering, because it is so important. We cannot emphasize that enough. And before I get into this section, feel free to put any questions or comments that you have in the Q&A section on the right-hand side of this live event. We'd be happy to answer your questions moving forward. So just wanted to put that out there, get your questions ready, because we'll have some time near the end to answer those. So moving on, how do you apply volunteer experience to the internship search? So that's kind of how we want to apply these experiences to looking for an internship, looking for a job. And just to reiterate what Anne has already covered, it is a completely valuable experience. And across the board, what I have found is that it's never bad to put it on your resume or in your job application. It can be very valuable, and it can be just as valuable as work experience or paid experiences. So just to repeat what Anne already covered, there's so much skill building that can take place during a volunteer experience, such as teamwork or flexibility, and being able to show these skills on your job application is completely important, because you want to be able to demonstrate that you have these skills that are very highly desired by employers. Additionally, volunteering gives you the opportunity to network with other people, especially people in your desired industry. As Anne mentioned, there is just endless opportunities for volunteering in so many different areas. And if you really maybe want to network, if you have an idea of the type of job that you would like to get, try to seek out volunteer opportunities in that job field. And I found a really great statistic saying that 85% of employment opportunities are filled via networking. So that is a very significant statistic, and volunteering is a very easy way for you to get yourself out there and to make those connections. And then, of course, following that, make sure you stay connected with them via something like LinkedIn, or share your email, share your phone number with these people. It's a great way for you to find these opportunities after you volunteer. There's also numerous leadership opportunities, and you get to challenge your comfort levels, and you also take on some of that social responsibility. And put it really great, it's not always just about me. You want to show that you are concerned with the wider world, and that is something that looks impressive to employers, because they know that you are willing to put in the work to make a change, and also work with other people to make that change. And then, of course, just to say it again, it looks amazing on a resume. Hiring managers agree that volunteerism improves an employee's skill set. And that's from Delawatt. So it can't be emphasized enough that we at the Career Center completely support students volunteering and using that experience to be able to communicate their newfound skills, their new experiences during that job and internship search. So we're going to move on to a volunteer story, and I'll let Anne introduce Min, because Min is an employee at the OSV.
Yes, thank you. Min is one of our wonderful Office of Student Volunteerism student leaders. So Min does a lot of work with us, helping to put on our volunteering events. And she's, of course, a very active volunteer herself. So Min, take it away.
Thank you so much for that introduction, and Alyssa. Hi guys, my name is Min. I am currently a junior biology major, and I'm currently working at the OSV as a student leader. Um, so just a little bit about my volunteering story. I started volunteering, I guess, starting out in high school when things started to uh, be a requirement volunteering, like fulfilling hours as a high school student. So that's when I first was exposed to volunteerism. And of course, ninth grade me was just trying to get the hours in and going to showing up at voluntary events, volunteer. But eventually, as I started volunteering more throughout my high school years, all the way to my freshman years, I found that it was very fun and very impactful to volunteer. And a specific moment in freshman year, I went on alternative spring break. As Anne mentioned, it was one of our OSB events. I signed up and volunteer at an alternative spring break just on a whim, just because I thought, I wanted to spend my spring break somewhere else and not around Dallas. I think it was here that really made a big impact on my volunteering journey. Here, there was another volunteer. He was like an elder, like probably in his 70s. He told me, specifically in our student group, that, hey, like, thank you so much for coming out. Because you're here, we'll be able to get all this work done when normally it takes us about 2 weeks to get done, when you guys can only do it in like a day. I think that time when I went home and I reflected, I think I realized that we're college students. We're so young. We have the time, the energy, the creativity, the ideas to put in and make such a big impact and difference in the world. So why not do it? So that's when I realized that I want to volunteer and I want to get into this more. And as I go on that trip, I met one of our coworkers at the Office of Student Volunteerism, and she told me about these opportunities. So that's why I started to apply. I become a student leader here at the Office of Volunteerism, and it just kicks off from there. And it has been wonderful. And I want to go a little bit into why volunteer and how volunteer has helped me develop individually and as a leader. While volunteering and doing reflections on my volunteering service, I have realized that you not just putting out the work out there and helping to change or make a difference, you yourself will gain so much as an individual. You learn what is out there, what is the needs in your community. You get to connect with other students or other people with different backgrounds. You learn communication skills, leadership skills, how to work in a team to try to make a difference or try to come up with a certain solutions. All of this thing that you get to gain from volunteer will definitely 100% get to be applied in your future career. Me personally, I want to go to medical school and I want to become a medical doctor. So definitely service is a huge component in my future career. It just hits home. You have to serve people. You don't just go out and treat the symptoms or treat the disease. You're treating a human being and you're treating an individual. So this volunteering and gaining all this communication skills and learning about people's cultures, people needs, what are the sufferings, why do people, what certain things people are going through, will really help me connect with my future patients. And the Career Center have been really good in emphasizing that soft skills and hard skills. I think it definitely, I can relate to that. Like I can definitely be trained to do certain procedures as a physician, gain up on medical knowledge, go to medical school, but nobody can really teach me really how to connect with my patients or how to communicate with them or how to really understand them as individuals unless, I get all these experience from being exposed to different people around my communities. So definitely, I always recommend from my heart to volunteer, not just because it will look good on your resume, but really as an individual, you will learn and grow so much just knowing what is out there around you. And it opens your eyes to many various perspectives. And not just medicine itself as well. I have friends who are in majors like finance, engineers who go out and volunteers, and they told me that when they go to interviews for the internship or they go to interviews for their work, that they have the employers were really impressed that they actually volunteer because they don't see that a lot. from students who are in finance or engineers or any other jobs that doesn't really need service component is what people assume. But because my friends volunteered, they were very impressed that, wow, they really chose to go out of their way to help others to make a difference. It really tells who they are as a person. So yeah, I would definitely recommend volunteering. If I were to have any advice to give to people who are starting college or people who are considering if they should volunteer, definitely do it. Start volunteer. You will not only be able to make an impact on others' lives, but it will make an impact on your life as well. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Min. That was so amazing. And I really appreciated hearing about your experiences. And I completely agree that, yeah, anybody can train you how to do a job, but those soft skills that you learn, those human skills, are invaluable when you're preparing to enter the workforce. So I thank you for emphasizing that and letting us know about your experiences. So now we'll move on, and I'm just going to have this up during our Q&A section. If we have any, Amy, do we have any questions that have been asked?
Not as of yet, but I have to say I am super inspired by hearing just from Anne and Min's story. Like I love, hearing student perspective, and I think what all of you touched on is just giving your time to someone else that's not paid. Like that looks amazing, and that says a lot about a person. So I think that's just really amazing for all our student leaders, and for your future career, as Min touched on. Just have to add that. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Amy, so much. So if you still feel like getting a question in, we have a couple more minutes. But in the meantime, I just want to highlight that it's National Internship Awareness Month, and we still have a couple events coming up over the next 3 weeks. Some really great panels that include first generation students and LGBTQ students that have had internships or other experiential learning opportunities. And we want to emphasize those experiences for those student populations. We also have another experience talks program about seeking a mentorship. And then, of course, really important is the job and internship scams event. They are at an all-time high. I am not kidding. We have had many students contact us and let us know that they had been scammed, which is so sad and so unfortunate. So we want to make sure that everybody is as informed as they can be so it does not happen to you while you are on your job and internship search journey. And I will pass it over to Anne to talk about any other events that OSV is having coming up.
Thank you. Yeah, as I mentioned, well, you have an opportunity today if you're feeling super inspired right now. This afternoon, we'll be having our Spring into Service event where we're going to be doing some volunteering together. The next week is Earth Week. Again, if you head to the OSV website, we've got all of our programming that's going to be happening on there. Some of it is volunteer focused, and some of it is really about educating yourself on sustainability and all of those wonderful elements that go into it. So check it out. And then if you happen to be a freshman, we've got our Fest, which is Freshman Engaged Service Together, happening on April 28th. So feel free to join us for that as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Anne. And here is everything you need to know about the OSV if you want to reach out to them, contact them. They even have a YouTube channel. How cool is that? So feel free to reach out to them at any time. As we've seen, they have so much going on. And of course, the whole point of this program is to tell you guys volunteering is very important. It's very great for your development personally and professionally. So get involved, go out there, do the thing. It's going to be great. And here is our information at the University Career Center. We are happy to help you at any point in time on your internship journey or your job search journey. So just get in contact with us. We post really great content as well. We do have a YouTube too. Also, I forgot to put that, but usually our recorded events like this one go up on the YouTube eventually. So feel free to search out those resources as well. Amy, do we have any questions that have come in?
We do not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all for attending, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.